Welcome to your weekly program, Games and Names. In this episode, we discuss the sport of kings, which is the very popular sport of tennis in the world. On the occasion of the Australian Open Tennis Championship, which was held last January, we discussed the most important major tennis tournaments in the world and the most important tennis players currently in the world. In the first topic of our episode, we discussed the Grand Slam tournaments in tennis and their most important winners.
The Grand Slam in tennis is the achievement of winning all four major championships in one discipline in a calendar year. In doubles, a team may accomplish the Grand Slam playing together, or a player may achieve it with different partners. Winning all four major championships consecutively but not within the same calendar year is referred to as a non-calendar year Grand Slam, while winning the four majors at any point during the course of a career is known as a career Grand Slam. The Grand Slam tournaments, also referred to as majors, are the world's four most important annual professional tennis tournaments. They offer the most ranking points, prize money, public and media attention, the greatest strength and size of field, and the longest matches for men, best of 5 sets, best of 3 for the women. The tournaments are overseen by the International Tennis Federation, ITF, rather than the separate men and women's tour organizing bodies, the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, and Women's Tennis Association, WTA, but both the ATP and WTA award ranking points, based on players' performances in them. The four Grand Slam tournaments are the Australian Open in January, the French Open from late May to early June, Wimbledon in late June to early July, and the US Open in late August to early September, with each played over 2 weeks. The Australian and the United States tournaments are played on hard courts, the French on clay, and Wimbledon on grass. Wimbledon is the oldest tournament, founded in 1877, followed by the US in 1881, the French in 1891, major in 1925, and the Australian in 1905, but it was not until 1925 that all four were held as officially sanctioned majors. The Australian Open is the first Grand Slam tournament of the year, played annually in late January and early February. The inaugural edition took place in November 1905 on the grass courts of the Warehousemen's Cricket Ground in Melbourne, Australia. It was held as the Australasian Championships until 1927 and thereafter as the Australian Championships until the onset of the Open era in 1969, passing through various venues in Australia and New Zealand before settling at the Kuong Lawn Tennis Club in Melbourne between 1972 and 1987, 48. Since 1988, it has been played on the hard courts of the Melbourne Park Sports Complex, which currently uses Greenzet as its court manufacturer. Managed by Tennis Australia, formerly the Lawn Tennis Association of Australia, LTA, the tournament struggled until the mid-1980s to attract the top international players due to its distance from Europe and America and proximity to the Christmas and holiday season, but it has since grown to become one of the biggest sporting events in the Southern Hemisphere, and the highest attended Grand Slam tournament, with more than 812,000 people attending the 2020 edition. Nicknamed the Happy Slam and billed as the Grand Slam of Asia Pacific, it has become known for its modernity and innovation, being the first Grand Slam tournament to feature indoor play and install retractable roofs on its main courts, the first to schedule nighttime men's singles finals, and the first to substitute electronic line calling for line judges, using an expanded version of the Hawkeye technology known as Hawkeye Live. The tournament was designated a major championship by the International Lawn Tennis Federation in 1923. Nowadays, its draws host 256 singles players, 128 doubles teams, and 32 mixed doubles teams, with the total prize money for the 2023 tournament being $76,500,000 Australian dollars. The career achievement of winning all 4 major championships in one discipline is termed a career Grand Slam. In singles, 8 men, Fred Perry, Don Budge, Roy Emerson, Rod Laver, Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, and 10 women, Maureen Connolly, Doris Hart, Shirley Fryervin, Margaret Court, Billie Jean King, Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Serena Williams, and Maria Sharapova, have completed a career Grand Slam. 4 men, Emerson, Laver, Djokovic, and Nadal, and 5 women, Court, Evert, Navratilova, Graf, Williams, have achieved the feat more than once over the course of their careers. Only 6 players have completed a career Grand Slam in both singles and doubles, 1 male, Roy Emerson, and 5 females, Margaret Court, Doris Hart, Shirley Fryervin, Martina Navratilova, and Serena Williams. Court, Hart, and Navratilova are the only players to have completed a box set, that is, winning all 4 major titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles.
In the second topic of our episode, we discuss one of the most important tennis players currently, Novak Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic, born the 22nd of May 1987, is a Serbian professional tennis player, who is currently ranked world number 1 in singles by the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP. Djokovic has been ranked number 1 for a record total of 409 weeks in a record 13 different years, and finished as the year-end number 1 a record 8 times. Djokovic has won an all-time record 24 Grand Slam men's singles titles, including a record 10 Australian Open titles. Overall, he has won 98 singles titles, including a record 71 big titles, 24 majors, a record 40 Masters, and a record 7 ATP finals. Djokovic is the only man in tennis history to be the reigning champion of all 4 majors at once across 3 different surfaces. In singles, he is the only man to achieve a triple career Grand Slam, and the only player to complete a career Golden Masters, a feat he has achieved twice. Djokovic began his professional career in 2003. In 2008, at age 20, he disrupted Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal's streak of 11 consecutive majors by winning his first major title at the Australian Open. By 2010, Djokovic had begun to separate himself from the rest of the field and, as a result, the trio of Federer, Nadal and him was referred to as the Big Three among fans and commentators. In 2011, Djokovic ascended to number 1 for the first time, winning 3 majors and a then record 5 Masters titles while going 10-1 against Nadal and Federer. He remained the most successful player in men's tennis for the rest of the decade. In 2015, Djokovic had his most successful season, reaching a single-season record 15 consecutive finals, winning a season record 10 big titles, while having a record 31 victories over the top 10 players. His dominant run extended through to the 2016 French Open, where he completed his first career Grand Slam and a non-calendar year Grand Slam, becoming the first man since Rod Laver in 1969 to hold all four majors simultaneously, and setting a rankings points record of 16,950. In 2017, Djokovic suffered from an elbow injury that weakened his results until the 2018 Wimbledon Championships, where he won the title while ranked No. 21 in the world. Djokovic has continued to be a dominant force on the tour since then, winning 12 major titles and completing his second and third career Grand Slams. Due to his opposition to COVID-19 vaccine, Djokovic was forced to skip many tournaments in 2022, notably the Australian Open and the US Open, two major events he was the favorite to win. 1 year after the Australian visa controversy, Djokovic made a successful comeback to reclaim the 2023 Australian Open trophy, and shortly after he claimed the French Open to take the outright record for most men's singles majors won in history. Representing Serbia, Djokovic led the national tennis team to its first Davis Cup title in 2010, and to the inaugural ATP Cup title in 2020. He also won the bronze medal for his country at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Djokovic is a recipient of the Order of Karo or ES Star, Order of Saint Sava, and the Order of the Republika Srpska. His other awards include being named the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year 4 times, 2012, 2015, 2016 and 2019, and the 2011 BBC Overseas Sports Personality of the Year. Beyond competition, Djokovic was elected as the president of the ATP Player Council in 2016. He stepped down in 2020 to front a new player-only tennis association, the Professional Tennis Players Association, PTPA, founded by him and Vasek Pospisil, citing the need for players to have more influence on the tour, and advocating better prize money structure for lower-ranked players. Djokovic is an active philanthropist. He is the founder of Novak Djokovic Foundation, which is committed to supporting children from disadvantaged communities. Djokovic was appointed a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in 2015. Djokovic is regarded by many observers, tennis players and coaches as the greatest men's tennis player of all time, primarily for his achievements across all top-level tournaments of the men's professional tour, in addition to his time spent with the world #1 ranking. Many media outlets, including Forbes, Reuters, Sports Illustrated, ESPN, Marca, Tennis World USA, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, and Sporting News have named Djokovic the greatest male tennis player in history. Djokovic has won a record 71 big titles, including an all-time record of 24 Grand Slam titles, and holds the most weeks at #1. The most wins over top 5 and top 10 ranked players, has won all major and masters events, and the year-end championships at least twice, which has not been done by another player once, and has a winning head-to-head record over his greatest rivals, in one of the strongest eras of tennis. Former world No. 1 Daniil Medvedev labeled Djokovic the greatest tennis player in history, after winning his first major title at the 2021 US Open over Djokovic. Pat Cash emphasized that Djokovic is one of two players who beat Rafael Nadal at the French Open, which he considers to be the biggest challenge in tennis. Richard Krajicek in the Roar Sports Opinion website said that Djokovic should be considered for the greatest player of all time because he is the only one among his rivals who has won all four majors consecutively. Patrick Merteglou stated, Novak is the most complete player of all times. That enables him to find the solution to most of the problems on court, and this, on every surface. It explains why he is now in the best position to become the GOAT. Rafael Nadal has praised Djokovic's peak level of performance, stating in 2011, when he went 0-6 against Djokovic for the season, that Djokovic's level is probably the highest level of tennis that I ever saw. Nadal reiterated this after a one-sided loss in the 2016 Qatar Open final, stating that, I played against a player who did everything perfectly. I don't know anybody who's ever played tennis like this. Since I know the sport, I've never seen somebody playing at this level. In 2017, Nadal stated that, at a technical level, when Djokovic has been at the top of his game, I have to say that I've been up against an invincible player. In 2023, former world number 7 Marty Fish also declared that Djokovic in 2011 was the best player of all time. In 2023, Boris Becker compared Djokovic to Lionel Messi, Tom Brady and LeBron James in their respective sports, saying that, for me, he is the Lion King.
We now shed light on the second champion and one of the most important tennis players currently, Aryna Sabalenka.
Aryna Sabalenka, born the 5th of May 1998, is a Belarusian professional tennis player. She is a former world No. 1 in both singles and doubles by the Women's Tennis Association, WTA. Sabalenka has won one major singles title at the 2023 Australian Open, and two major doubles titles at the 2019 US Open and the 2021 Australian Open, both partnering Elise Mertens. She has won 19 career titles in total, 13 in singles and 6 in doubles. Sabalenka was relatively unknown until 2017 when she led the Belarus Fed Cup team to a runner-up finish with Alexandra Sasnovich. Despite both of them being ranked outside the top 75 at the time, she finished both 2018 and 2019 ranked number 11 in the world in singles. Following two major singles semi-final appearances in 2021, Sabalenka peaked at the world number 2 ranking, but struggled to consistently maintain that success in 2022. In 2023, she won her first major singles title at the Australian Open, reached the semi-finals at all four major tournaments, also finishing runner-up at the US Open, and obtained the world number 1 ranking, being named the ITF World Champion for the season. Sabalenka also began playing doubles regularly in 2019, with Mertens as her partner. She completed the Sunshine Double by winning the two premier mandatory tournaments in March, the Indian Wells Open and the Miami Open. After the US Open doubles title later in the year, she also qualified for the WTA Finals for the first time. Sabalenka has a very aggressive style of play, often accumulating high numbers of winners and unforced errors. With her height, she also has a very powerful serve. Sabalenka is a baseliner with a powerful, aggressive style. She has a powerful serve and equally powerful ground strokes, and her game is based around hitting ground stroke winners. She has said, "I hope all my shots can be strong, but my serve, I feel, is the best." Sabalenka's strong serve, which can reach 200 kilometers (h. 124 miles per hour), allows her to serve a large number of aces. In 2023, she ranked third of all players in aces served, at 401. Her serve is inconsistent, however, leading to a high double fault count. She served 166 double faults in 2020, the most of any player. Sabalenka notably suffered from the yips from the 2021 WTA Finals and into 2022, serving 152 double faults in 11 matches, an average of 14 double faults a match. Her second serve began to show improvements from August 2022, having worked with a biomechanics expert following the 2022 Canadian Open. Overall, Sabalenka served 440 double faults in 2022. Her ground strokes are often hit with relentless pace and depth. Tennis broadcaster and former professional player Mary Carrillo praised the power in her style of play, along with her fierce attitude, describing her game as Big Babe tennis personified. Although Sabalenka has the ability to hit a lot of winners, they can be accompanied by a lot of unforced errors. In her first career top 10 victory against Carolina Pliskova, she hit 40 winners and 39 unforced errors. Her second career top 10 victory against Caroline Wozniacki was similar, featuring 64 winners and 54 unforced errors. Her coach Dmitry Tursunov credited her improvement in the summer of 2018 on developing better shot selection. He said, "The major thing is she stopped trying to hit a winner with every shot." Sabalenka prefers playing on grass and hard courts. She commented, "This year, in 2017, I played for the first time on grass courts, during Wimbledon, and I really liked it. I enjoyed my game on the grass courts. The feeling of grass, that's nice. I think my game is suited for grass and for hard courts." On clay, she made both the singles and doubles finals at the 2018 Ladies Open Lugano. She won her first clay court title at the 2021 Madrid Open. Sabalenka frequently accompanies her shots with loud grunting. She said, "Honestly, I don't even hear myself when I am playing." However, she expressed her hopes that her grunting has no disturbance on her opponents. At the Australian Open in 2018, the home crowd mocked her habit in a match against Australian Ashleigh Barty.
Here ends this week's episode of your program Games and Names. Thank you for watching.